Okay, as promised, I'm going to give a quick look at the rear yard landscaping. Changes made over the years. You're going to have to excuse some of the trees or bushes might be a little unkept, but I was planning on doing a lot of trimming before I made this video, but yesterday while I was helping deliver some of the mulch, I slipped on the light mist of rain on the driveway and twinged my back a little bit. Nothing major. It looked worse than it actually was, but I'm not going to do any trimming till Saturday. A couple of days, give myself a little chance to heal. Anyway, this tree here, the mango tree, was grown from seed, and it's only now starting to actually fruit. They say when you grow from seed, they may take up to 5 to 7 years and may not actually fruit at all. But I think I kind of retarded this one. It started fruiting now. I think it's maybe about 8 years or so. But I think it's based on I was hard pruning it a long time, trying to keep the size down. Then I finally decided, okay, let's leave it alone and let it do what it does. And it's fruiting now. This thing was cut down to nothing. That's why all these large branches started to pop out of nowhere to try to survive. It was a lot stronger than my will to kill it. Not intentionally. Anyway, this one also was made from seed, the avocado, and they're from my buddy's tree. And right away when I put them up, one of my buddies was telling me, one of the neighbors was telling me that I should just go ahead and get some grafted trees if I wanted to get a quick fruit. But the problem was there's some sentimental value between these two, because the buddy that I got the fruit from that I made from seed, him and his wife were very old, and so I just wanted to keep them there. And the wife is gone. I named this one after her, Thelma, and he's not doing great right now, but so I want to keep those there, sort of, posterity, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, this one here is from my neighbor's tree, a grafted tree, and I put it right next to its avocado also. But I decided if this one didn't work out, I'd at least have this one standing by and I can cut that down. They're both fruiting, so I'm going to leave them alone. I don't know if it helps or hurts to have two avocado trees, different varieties, right on top of each other. Probably helps more than hurts. I got a banana here. Got a couple of, I think it's a double hibiscus here, and I'm not sure what this these bushes here are with the little white flowers. I got those in the front also. I also don't know exactly what this is, but this guy here has been here since the beginning, and it just grows up to the sky, and I just keep chopping it down to nothing, and it just grows right back. So I decided to let it live, but just keep it down low, or just keep trimming it down and let it do what it does. There are 3 of these Christmas palms here, and 2 of them died. I chopped them down. Eventually I'll have to chop down those stumps also. Let's go back a little bit. All of this here was grass, and I did all this work myself. I painstakingly took up all the grass. Took a couple of weeks to dig up all the grass, level off the ground, put down the weed barrier, then do the sand and the paving, sand and all that stuff to do this. Now these stones, I was a little brighter when I put these stones in, because I actually ordered the pallets of it and took care of that myself also. Now this little section here with the different stone was actually a lot of mulch here. And this, I did the hard way. I got up all the mulch, and the same thing with the leveling off, the weed barrier, the paving sand, paving stone. I got these individually from Home Depot, I think, and had to load a pile of them on the cart from the location Home Depot, drag them to my car, load them into the car, drive over here, bring them up the hill here, pull them out of the car and stack them up, and then one by one put them in. I mean, that was a long, painstaking process. But I was a little younger and a little stronger, and I actually enjoyed doing all that work myself also. All right. And I did an excellent job, I think, myself on these stones. They've been holding up real well, not wavering or anything. Now, once again, this was all grassland also. As a matter of fact, it actually stopped where the cactus is at. Sorry about the plane. I live right off the airport. Anyway, the grass actually stopped where this cactus plant was, because that was the original fence line. Oh, I stand corrected, since I told you those trees did. The original fence line was pretty much at the tree there. And what happened is, if you look at the old videos, you'll see also that there was a Jehovah's Witness temple built in the back there. And so my property extended past the fence line where that tree was, but it was an easement. And when the church came in, or temple, if you want to call it that way, they eliminated the easement, and I was able to push fence back, but I didn't need to do it, because what happened is the temple put their own fence, their wooden fence up, and I decided to just go with that. So I actually gained maybe close to 10 feet of my own property back there. 8 to 10 feet. Anyway, so the same thing with the grass here. I did a lot of work just to rip the grass up, and you have to go down a good 4 to 6 inches to get that all up. And I did that early morning. I'd come out here before the sun came out for weeks to get that taken care of. And then I made this entire garden myself, laid out and planted. Once again, sorry about the plane. I might actually eliminate the sound and do a talk over on this. Now over here, the Emerald Green Arborvitaes. When I originally had them, I put them in, they were maybe 1.5 feet tall. If you look at some of the old videos, you'll see that also. And they're about 6 feet tall. By the time the temple came in, I was able to push the land back. And I had my gardener come and dig them up and plant them further back. And I was worried about them actually making it, but they strove. They were very good in surviving that move. This is my agave plant. I have some desert rose here. And some other stuff I tacked in for color. I still need to toss in a few colorful plants here for the coming summer here. Okie doke. Now this grass has always been here. It was shabby for quite a while. I had to do a lot of work even to finally get it to this level here. I put this pad up also, my workout pad, so I can practice martial arts. And that, you'll see, is quite wavy, because, not just because of the fact that I had to do a lot of jumping and stomping on it, but I have a lot of ant activity. And so the ants dig all through it and come up through the top, pushing out all the sand, and then we get these caverns here, and then of course it's going to sink in. Over here right now, this is a spot that I had a bunch of various plants here. Mostly, I think I had a lot of eugenias here, which I thought were going to grow out, and they didn't make it, or I just got tired of them, I can't remember. Right now I have this beautiful starfruit tree that is just a miracle tree. It just won't stop giving, It fruits pretty much all year long, and all summer long, should I say. And I just have to constantly keep giving it away to neighbors and friends to get rid of fruit. It's just remarkable. I don't know if you heard that bell in the back, my neighbor back here, which I'll get to soon enough. I can actually hear his doorbell ring because he has, I guess, one of the sensors outside, so you can hear it. It's been a constant pain with music. It's been a lot better lately. but let's get to that in a second Anyway, over here I recently put in this grapefruit tree, and I'm surprising I had fruit on it when I put it there. I didn't expect them to survive in such a young tree, but two of them seem to be holding on, and let's see if I can get those two guys to actually mature. But either way, it's telling me that this is going to be a winner here. And I've tossed a couple of pineapple plants in a few spots. I've done well with the pineapples. They take so long to actually grow and to ripen, so you'd have to do quite a few to actually get enough fruit through the year, or get some fruit through the year. I don't know about enough. Over here, this pineapple plant, usually after the first one grows, you have to get rid of the plant. It's dead. But I had a lot of saplings spring up on this one here, so I decided to leave it. A few plants popping up on the same bunch here, if that's what you call it. You have a nice yellow hibiscus here, and this looks really nice when it comes out. It should be coming out very soon. This whole section, getting back to neighbor, I had all sorts of beautiful plants that I put there. Had some black diamond crepes of different colors and variations. These gardenias I did have there also. But what happened was they're slow moving plants, and when I had all this problem with the neighbor, even before his, I don't think this, excuse me, I think those are cocoa leaf. Anyway, before they were put there grown up, there was little to nothing there, and I could actually look inside the neighbor's yard. Based on when the temple came here, they insisted that they put a berm here, and the main reason was because that's a water retention area in the back over there. But over here, when this guy moved in, and the same situation applied where I was able to push my fence back. It was a little less because of the angle of where the property line is. About 6 feet I was able to push back. I could actually, he didn't have to put in a berm. So when I put the 6-foot fence in, because this slopes down, I'm looking right into his yard. And I'm looking at him walking around, the big U-Haul truck he was leaving, sitting around, not to mention all the noise that he was making with music out in the yard. So the first order of business I did was to remove all these beautiful plants that were slow growing and try to put some stuff that was a little faster growing. Actually, that was my plan, but I didn't do that. These were some Eudenia topiaries. They were 3-ball topiaries, these two. And so instead of just ripping those out, what I did was I got rid of the bottom 2 balls, and I let it just grow out to see if it would cover up some of the space. And so then the cocoa palm started to run. He shoved piles of other trees right along the top here. One that's really another pain is that he's put half a dozen mango trees right on top. Mangoes. He put half a dozen papaya trees right on top of each other here, and he doesn't attend to them. So the fruit ripens, drops, piles of insects, piles of birds. It's just a mess. Like I said, it's a neighbor from hell, but like I said, it's gotten so much better now after lots of work with the town, so I'm hoping it actually stays that way. But these gardenias are excellent. I've had a problem with keeping gardenias alive for quite a while, but all of a sudden, it just got better, and these guys are remarkable. Keeps the yard very fragrant. From the old video, I'm going to once again show you. If you remember how small these foxtail palms were, and now they're monsters. They've done very well here. And I put them in as babies, maybe about 6 foot tall. Now this is the Indian jasmine. It was the plant that I had brought back from New York from one of my buddies, brought it from India. I had a small cutting in a pot, and I planted it here, it grew wild and had a big giant bush there. Eventually, I cut out a section and repotted it. I'll show you that as we go over. And thought it was done, but of course it was resilient, and it started to grow back here, and I decided to let it grow to a certain extent. And I'll just trim it down, just to keep it manageable. I had this patio mango in a pot inside the pool deck, and then I decided to put him outside and plant him into the ground, and it's been doing well. I think it's the second year right away I got fruit. I got about four mangoes, and right now I see it maybe about 8 or 9 of them on the tree, probably some that I can't see. So I think that's gonna be good this year. Now this is my Javoticaba. Now that I had for quite a while. It don't seem to be doing much of anything. It's staying alive and healthy, but it hasn't given me any indication of any fruit, but he's gonna be all right. My black persimmon or black sapote, I gotten this a grafted plant also from a tree show or something, and this is the second time that it's actually flowered and looked like it wanted to fruit, but they would just drop off the buds. I don't know if it's actually gonna hold up this time around. There's another Christmas palm that's come to the end of its life, and there were quite a few here. There were 2 over here, or a twin over here. They both died. I had to chop them down one at a time. And this guy, I think he had a twin also, and I had to chop down, and he's on his way out. And I'll have to find some sort of a bushy tree here that'll cover up this area, maybe give me a little more sound barrier for my neighbor there. There's a video on this overhang here that I put with the fake boxwood, and I put that there to extend the fence to alleviate that problem which we just talked about, or I just talked about, looking directly inside the neighbor's yard, and that's worked out well. The only thing I wish that I had extended that fence higher and leveled off this ground. The only reason why that wasn't done, which actually I did raise this quite a bit, and I brought in piles and piles and piles of bags of soil and mulch. And those were the days I was actually, like I said, filling my car with them and making dozens of trips to get it down here. Mainly because this section here, when I had that leveled off, I had my gardener come in with a truckload of soil. And he had the same problem. He has truckload of soil. We have that monster steep driveway that he had to dump inside wheelbarrows and then push up this driveway to get to that. Hindsight's 2020. If I knew this guy was coming in and we'd be getting back my section of the easement, I would have had him come earlier, take down my wooden fence, and he could have drove right through this property before this guy had taken hold of it, and then leveled off this for me really nice. Just come out with the truck and dump it down. This here was a what was that? The Granada, what do we call that again? Oh, what did I have brain lock all of a sudden? Anyway, I think the name's Granada, and I had it in a pot, and I had another section I thought it was going to do well. It died, and I just shoved it there to see if it might come back to life, but it's gone. Like I said, I'm going to have to put something nice, bushy, that'll cover up this area here. And I have some great neighbors over here. Actually, he did finally decide he had enough of the noise also, and he moved to Georgia. And he left his daughter take over the property. I'm going to back into this because we're going into the sun. I'll go up and then come forward, I guess. Running into spider webs constantly. I got more spiders here I know what to do with. And I love spiders. They keep control of the insects, but I don't love webs all over the place. Now, this strip here, originally, it had a pile of eugenias here, eugenia bushes. And it was, no, actually it's a lie. It had a big section of eugenia bush here, and the bulk of this was the arekas running through here. And I had finally got all that down. It was just a mess of arekas. So I decided that I didn't want to put too many plants actually in the ground here. I was a little concerned about the rooting going toward the pool also. So I dug up most of this stuff and I put down these pots to put plants in. I just recently shoved this, I think this is a lemon, a calamadine. It's like these little tiny tangerines. They're very tart, very high in vitamin C though. So I shoved that in there recently just to give it a chance to move forward. And I forget what these things are. I got some desert roses in there also mixed in. Here comes the plane. After a while, I actually don't even notice the noise from the planes, and it's not very frequent. It's just certain times of the day, I guess, and certain times of the week that you hear a lot of planes coming through, and it's not all day long, so it's not really bad. Now, this is my loquat tree. Once again, I got from the same neighbor here. It's a grafted tree, and so I lied. It wasn't a grafted tree. I actually pulled the sapling coming up on the side of one of his trees, and I put it in the ground. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, and it took a couple of years before it started to really grow, and then it started to fruit quickly. The only thing is I'm getting very small fruit, and by the time they ripen, they're over-ripened. So I'm going to trim this down, and maybe Saturday. And I'm hoping that over the years, the fruit will start getting bigger. Maybe I'll have to do some research to see if there's a special fertilizer that could make it a lot better. I have also videos. You got to check out some of my old videos that'll cover some things like when I cut my tall pool box in half to make it a little more manageable and just to give me a better line of sight where it wouldn't have obstruction of that area there. Here's another double hibiscus that I put in. It's a really beautiful tree, and I have to trim that down soon also. Once again, if you look at some of the old videos, you'll see my lounge chair build. You can see that this needs trimming also. This is another one of my eugenias that I don't believe I think this was a top area also, and I cut off the balls and then allowed it to do whatever it wants, and then slowly trimmed it into the square. Now this here, once again, was the piece of the Indian jasmine that I pulled out and potted, and this is actually doing well also. It looks a little straggly right now. I'm going to trim that, and I think it's time to put a little more water inside that. With these pots separate out like this, you got to be very cognizant of keeping it nice and moist. I think in this pot I just shoved the branch from the starfruit. I was trying to get the tree propagated for one of my neighbors, and I'm not sure if it's gonna work out. I'll tell you, I've been giving it a lot of shot, trying to do some air layering, and it's just not working out for me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. I got another one working here in this mango, but for some reason I've been waiting up to 2.5 months, and I'm still not getting any progress with getting roots to the air laying. And I've watched so many videos and still just hasn't worked for me. Let's hope that my last two attempts, that mango as well as my star fruit here. Hopefully it'll produce some success. I'm going to let these sit for a little longer than the 2 months that I did usually. Anyway, I don't know if I got everything, but once again, I'd removed an old distribution system for my in-ground sprinklers, and this is another video you can find online when this was taken care of. Oh, this is my special Walmart box. Oh, that I used, okay, to make a cover for it. So like I said, once again, you can find that full video on that build online as well. I really appreciate all of my viewers and subscribers, and I wish you would take the time to like, share, and comment on the videos. Also press the bell notification. Please don't hesitate to leave any comments on how I can improve what I've already done.